Murder charges and horrifying details in the case of a missing woman from Dallas County. James Phelps and Timothy Norton are accused in the disappearance and death of Cassidy Rainwater. Color 10's Mike Landis details how the community is reacting tonight to the news.
Well, Heather, back in September, Norton and Phelps were charged with kidnapping Cassidy Rainwater and keeping her in a cage. Now, little else was known about what happened to the woman who had gone missing over the summer months. Well, today we learned shocking information when the men were also charged with first-degree murder and abandoning human remains.
Well, it's horrifying that the details they've released today is horrifying that they would put somebody through that.
Ever since Cassidy Rainwater was reported missing from Dallas County in August, there have been a lot of questions and theories around the community about what happened to her.
I think the older people are more scared. You know, they're not used to seeing things like that, hearing things like that.
Neighbors are now shocked to learn in court documents released Wednesday, prosecutors have evidence to prove much of what the community feared and heard is true.
There were too many rumors and they were so bizarre, there was no way for it not to be true. You've never heard anything like that before. You've never seen a whole road shut down for a whole week.
Investigators had been focusing on this property on Moon Valley Road and had their eyes on these guys, James Phelps and Timothy Norton. Clues began to fall in place recently when the two men were charged with kidnapping Cassidy. Then on Wednesday, the charges of first-degree murder and abandoning a body. Investigators say Norton confessed to FBI agents that he helped Phelps strangle Rainwater. Human remains were found in a home where investigators believe the men killed Rainwater, as well as some neighboring land. DNA testing confirmed the remains belonged to Cassidy Rainwater.
I mean, we're all praying for her and her family, especially the kids. We don't know, how involved they were, not whatever, but nobody deserves to go through that. So our thoughts and prayers are with them, and we're sorry that they've had to go through all this.
Dallas County Sheriff posted a statement on its Facebook page saying they have no evidence there are any other victims in this case. Now, James Phelps is scheduled to appear in court on Friday, where Timothy Norton will be in court on November the 23rd, Heather.
And you can read the court documents on our news app and website, ozarksfirst.com. Before you click, we will warn you the details of this case are very disturbing.
Welcome back to another Stephen Case video. I haven't been to the horse track in a long time, and the first video back is a wild one. As you guys know, back in July, you guys remember the people came up to me, they were whistling, the woman was screaming, the guy, Scott, came up the river, and all this crazy stuff was happening. I don't know if you guys see, he's up there. Is that a ghost or is that a human?
Let's go help him.
Then, not even a couple weeks, like a couple days later, the horse track was get flown over by the FBI because of the marijuana or whatever in the back 5 acres that I have. And then, about a month and a half later, I come back down here. Before we get into it, let's try to get to, we're at 193,000 subscribers, almost at 94, almost at 200K, and my 3-wood, so that's kind of dope. If you guys want to hit the subscribe button, also leave a comment for the algorithm and slap a like, because this is the craziest story. And we're going to go do some investigation, to say the least. We're going to go see everything, and we're going to also go look at the horse track. So we got down here, and a couple days go by, and it's not, I mean, the only reason I'm talking about this is because of the weird situation of where the happened and what happened to me in July when this all went away. So a woman went missing July 25th, aka right around the time that I posted, and a woman went missing the 25th, which I can't say for facts. A lot of this, what I'm saying, is just because of the people I talked around here and the people that lived right next to the guy and all this. This is all alleged. Don't take my word for it. So about 1 mile away from where the horse track is being built, and all this stuff has happened right next to the horse track, which is scary, but right about a mile away from where the horse track is being built is where the happened and where the woman allegedly was found, and it'll probably be all over the news, but for now it's Steven and his hillbilly friends talking. We figured a lot of things out. So what I did and what I said during that time where we didn't go help that woman, or maybe it was a trap like you guys said, it did seem like a trap, and then a month later there being a and it's just weird. So now I have to keep a bow with me, keep it on the side. I have not been here for a month and a half. I had a lot of stuff I had to do with around here, so it's just weird knowing that just this guy that was living right around here was just hunting people.
Oh, I hear people down there.
I don't know if you guys see, he's up there. Is that a ghost or is that a human?
Let's go help him.
Be going wild, causing mayhem and ruckus and all that. Well, I don't know. Can I even talk? Let's go look at the river. The river's dried up. Another thing that was kind of weird that happened, as you guys remember, the woman and all the people that were down on the property going wild, causing mayhem and ruckus and all that. Well, I don't know. Can I even talk about and stuff?
Yes.
Well, you guys already know where I'm at. A little bit this way, there will be something called Moon Valley, and Moon Valley is literally, I can drive 5 minutes and get there. So what happened was some woman went missing around the 25th of July, which is the time all this crazy stuff was going down here. And now it is beginning of September, and over there, right, like literally 10 minutes from me, I guess they found her in his house, and he is they don't know he has other properties, and they think he might have more people. The FBI was literally down here. It's just crazy that from all that weird thing that happened here to literally 5 minutes up the road, they find some guy. It's like the first time someone's been down here in so long, and just, I don't know if it's coincidence, I don't know what it is, but it's weird. But yeah, that was just a weird thing. Oh, and another thing, my Uncle Donnie, which lives literally right next to Moon Valley, he's talked to the guy multiple times. So it's just weird knowing that just this guy that was living right around here was just hunting people, which, I don't know. It's scary. They could have just taken me and dragged me off, and I don't know what they could have done. They got the wrong person, that's what I'm gonna say. Here, we'll just go on an adventure. We looked at the horse track, we're going on an adventure, look at where the guy's at. It's literally right up the street. I think it's just weird that all this happened in July, and then that woman went missing, and then they find the guy 2 months later with the woman. Like, it's just a crazy story. So don't take my word for it, right? This is just a rumor with the folks that are walking around here, stumbling around in the chatter that I've heard. It's rumored that he was a cannibal, which makes it even worse, like even more scary. No, it's just crazy because if he has other people, it's just, the only reason I'm telling this story is because of the situation down here, because it really has nothing to do with me, but just a weird occurrence that all in the right time, this all happened, and this mug just got caught with the FBI and all this. So we're gonna drive by it too. We're gonna go investigate ourselves. All right.
I've been using the body for the last.
All right, we're on the road. I don't know what house it was. We're just kind of going on an investigation. I don't think this has hit the news either, so. All right, I think we found it. Let's take a look. There's cameras everywhere. Good for me. I have a camera too. I just got down here a day before all this went down, which is crazy. It being like right over there is the horse track is what is the scariest thing about it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what if this is legal or not. I'm just gonna fly it over to my place and to show you how close it actually is. This could just be, I don't know, some tape. Someone just taped up the road.
Oh, I hear people down there.
All right, we're not. Here's the deal. No one's allowed down there besides like the FBI and everything. I'm gonna pack this up real quick. If this was on my property, I could do what I want, but I'm not gonna mess around with the situation. It's not my property, and I don't want to go to jail today. I mean, I'm sure I've been without knowing it around a murder, but that's the closest I've been to a murder living next to my grandparents. It's kind of weird. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know. This is just a weird investigation that's going on. News reporter Steve. All right, boys. Well, update number 2. Supposedly they have cleared the scene. Right now they're saying nothing. There's nothing been found. Nothing. Even though I know this is gonna be one of the biggest things. This is gonna be all over everything. This is weird, demonic. I don't know what it is, but it's crazy. It's disgusting, and we're coming up on it right now. I'm actually getting scared. My parents talked to the cops and they're like, yeah, you don't want to be here at night. It's very scary. You're like, huh? That's where everything's been found, at this little tiny house. Look at the rusty Ford. The FBI been down here. The thing is,
The good old Jeepers Creepers car.
you're telling me that little tiny house is where this man... I thought I saw a face. I legit... Look at that. They took out... You guys can't see that, but they took out freezers. Look at all those freezers just sitting there. I mean, I'd pay to drive down there right now. But from the cop, he's like, yeah, there's gonna be ghost hunters out here. So that makes me think that it was possibly, I don't know. I mean, the guy was shook, and nothing's been released yet. And if you were to take a direct line and walk that way, in probably 15 minutes, you could be at the horse track. You could walk onto the horse track. This is just before everything else, but that's going to be all over the news. it's gonna be big, like on national news. And I'm the first news reporter right here, and it was right next to the horse track. And you can literally just walk through the woods and be on the horse track. I mean, it's a small town. As soon as something happens, word gets out and it just spreads like wildfire. And I'm gonna believe the neighbors, because usually they're always, literally always right. This man was a, which is.
For us has tracked down some people from other states. Everything that we have, questions of people that we have, or people of interest, maybe as somebody has visited the area or something, we've tracked all of that down, and so far, you know, we're coming up with one victim, Cassidy.
Tonight we're hearing from the Dallas County Sheriff in an exclusive interview with KY3 about what happened in the investigation with Cassidy Rainwater. After more than 3 months, the sheriff revealing details about this case. We are also covering a fire this afternoon inside the Silver Dollar City theme park. This is video sent to us by Natalie Schlusher. The fire damaged several buildings. More about that in just a moment.
First, though, back to the investigation into Cassidy Rainwater's disappearance. It began in August. 2 men, James Phelps and Timothy Norton, were initially charged with kidnapping her. They're now charged with murder and abandonment of a corpse. Marina Silva is live in Dallas County. Marina, this all started, of course, with a tip from the FBI. What's the sheriff saying about it now?
Lisa, that tip sent home about 2 months ago now shows Cassidy partially nude and in a cage. The sheriff told me that tip that was sent to the FBI could have come from out of the country.
Anonymous to me, it's also anonymous to the FBI. They have worked really hard at trying to figure out a way to find out who sent that tip, and we don't know who sent it. We just know the tip came from Germany. It bounced off an IP address out of Germany.
A tip that led to the arrest of these 2 men. Phelps still sitting in the Dallas County Jail and Norton in the Greene County Jail.
We can't talk about our investigation until we get all the facts and present it to the prosecutor and then to the judge. And even now, there's still more facts that'll come out about the case that can't come out until court.
For the first time, Dallas County Sheriff Scott Rice speaking out about the investigation and what they found after the arrests.
We located in the freezer some human flesh, and we also found skeleton remains that were just off the property of where Phelps was living.
Her skeletal remains found on property belonging to Cassidy's grandfather, Bill Rainwater. He died years ago, and the land is now in a trust.
On whose property were those remains found on?
It would have been on Rainwater's property.
The sheriff says Timothy Norton confessed to helping James Phelps kill Cassidy and says texts back and forth between the two show they had planned this for a while.
It had been a few months back, several months back, that they had talked about that.
The sheriff also addressed the untrue rumors that have been circulating on social media.
One, they're forgetting that there is a victim and a victim's family with kids, that, you know, that they see all that and they hear all that. And what's happened with Cassidy is something nobody should ever go through. let alone with all the people just deciding to make up their own stories. And
a motive is still unclear. The sheriff says they still don't know. Now, James Phelps is expected to be in court tomorrow, and Timothy Norton is expected to be next week. Reporting live in Dallas County, I'm Marina Silva.